Private is totally right here about like that expectation for the draft phase here, because we saw Black Sentence. They have an idea with that composition to maybe have a strong early game with Lilia and Hilda here, causing pressure, especially in the jungler of the enemy here. But it's like the opposite happened, you know, because I think that Octa Gaming, they knew the idea, they knew what they were doing, and it worked so well for them. Now I think that Black Sentence can change just a little bit about like that idea from composition. I think that they can come with a very hard engage in the roaming, for example, to get more confident, to trying to dominate some kind of actions and some decisions in the game, for like forcing a flicker, forcing a spell from the other team from Octa Gaming here to open the breach, to open an opportunity to guarantee the objectives, the lords, for example, because was everything from Octa Gaming in the first game, you know. So I think that Black Sentence was really they're not so. They think that they didn't absorb well this idea, that situation, that they couldn't guarantee any kind of objective in the first game, you know. But I believe that they come with different idea. But what is not so different here, my friend Zina, is the banning system, because it's almost the same. I think that it's
basically the same. Those were it is the same. But they banned Harley at first. It was Harley then Sora, but now it's
just the order.
Same two in the beginning. Yeah, same two in the beginning on each side right now. Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, when we come and take a look at it, I talked a little bit about Valentina probably not being the best choice because some of the ultimates that they had out at the time, so that's a reason she wasn't picked up here. We don't need to worry about the Zushin anymore, so that should give a little bit of breathing room. We're seeing that the map is going to be flying clouds. For me, sometimes when I see that, it kind of for me, if I'm a side laner, it means I can play something that's maybe not as aggressive, or maybe might not necessarily win my lane. I could play something with a little bit of mid-game security, because if I need to go back and back to base to kind of heal up, I can do that because now I have that little bit of transportation that's going to get me back to that side lane very, very quickly, where I wouldn't have that on a different map. I would risk losing some minions. I would risk taking some damage onto my tower. Here, I'll be able to kind of get back, even if I do take damage, even if I am necessarily not doing well on my side lane. Here, we're looking for that first pick. The priority earlier, I want to say, went to the Suyu. So are we going to stick with the junglers, or maybe kind of go for that mid lane security on the side of Black Sentence?
Yeah, we don't have Ivy here for the mid lane, so maybe Zushin can be the first pick for Black Sentence. There comes, I don't remember the phrase of the hero. We're just waiting.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it. It's Zushin here, the first pick for a Black Sentence. And I'm going to tell you a dumb thing about myself, guys. When I play the Fly Clouds, every time that I use the fly, remind me, and I'm thinking of the song, you know, I believe I can fly. every single time. So sorry about that. So sorry. But I like
no
it was
need to be
stronger.
sorry. Go ahead.
It is stronger than me. It is stronger than me. Okay. But continue here with the draft. Let's see what Octa Gaming is going to respond here to. I think that they want to prioritize now maybe the gold lane once again, but they're not allowed to use Claw. They can come with carry just to force Black Sentence not to choose very tanky composition because of carry here with the true damage and the buff for melting the tanks, you know. But this respawn here is very, very strong. They come with Khalid and carry. The roaming and the gold lane here, I mean the possible roaming here, they are two very, very strong ones here, Private.
Yeah, and when it comes to, I want to say, pickup times, when you're looking at a timeline of when both of these picks kind of come online, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, where Khalid, right from the get-go, right from the start, he's got mobility, he's got restoration, he's got a ton of damage that he can do. And then on the opposite side of that, you've got Carrie, who at the late game has a ton of damage that she can do as well. Now we've picked up the Claude and the Fredrin as well on the side of Black Sentence. What, are you okay there, Rico?
Okay.
You know what's going on? You know what's going on here, guys? I think that someone from Black Sentence heard my sentence here because they are repeating the composition from Octa. You see that?
Yeah.
With Zushin, Claude,
are.
and Frederick, like the same composition for in the first game. But jokes aside, guys, now the third pick here was a Suyu. I thought they could choose the mid lane here, especially like Zetian that is still open. But I don't think now that Black Sentence is gonna allow to let this hero still open here. I think they are going to ban, but we have to wait for it. But now they choose the jungler. Okay, one jungler here, Xena, is tanky, and he feels more confident to get in the team fight to trying to guarantee the objectives. Another one, it's a assassin with a burst of damage, that they can pick. They can pick some specific pickups here before an objective, before a team fight that can benefit Octa Gaming here, Xena.
Yes. Yeah, they're looking like they're taking out Glue here.
Yeah, Glue.
From the team. Yeah, and Lilia. Just they're trying to, like you said, ban out the mages for Octa, so they have a slimmer, pick for that. They did pick up Zushin, like you said, on the first. I think they picked it up first since it was MVP last round, and that crowd control is amazing. So I don't know.
Okay.
What's amazing for me is South in AMER South as opposed to AMER North. AMER North, I think I want to say Zeus had about almost like I want to say up there about 90% ban rate. To the point that North, they just don't even want to deal with it. They don't want to try to counter it. They're just going to take it off of the table. And I want to say South is just a little bit more aggressive with it. They're like, you know what? We're not going to ban it. We're gonna put it out there. We're going to allow it, and we're going to deal with it. And here we're going to see if Octa actually has a plan. They do have, I want to say, good ways. This is kind of like what I saw from Black Sense. You have the Suyu, who should be able to close the distance very quickly, put on a lot of damage onto the Zushin. But now you have that kind of coupled up with a Khalid, who can also get to that back line very quickly. He can also use his ultimate to possibly get that stun in there as well. And that's something that Black Sense is going to have to be very concerned about, especially because a lot of these more tankier picks have been taken off the table. They kind of read what you were saying about copying the build here. Glue was going to be the next recipe in there, followed by the Lapu, and it seems like Octa's like, no, you're not going to copy us. We're going to take Glue off of the table.
We're not allowing this.
And here,
no.
yeah, and here we were talking about getting to that back line. Who better to be able to do that than the Black Dragon himself, Yuzong?
Yeah, here comes a Yuzong here, just flying. Ooh, they already have the flying cloud, and now they have the flying dragon, the composition for Octa Gaming here. So it's very, very interesting. But even though we're having Khalid here with the idea to take in a backline for against Black Sentence composition, but we see that they have Zunshin, they have Claude. They both heroes. They are very mobile. They can escape. Easier than some kind of hard engage here, but instead of they decide to guarantee more a backline here invasion with Yuzong. But now here comes the final the composition here to finish the composition for Black Sentence. Arlott and Hylos. Okay, they didn't care so much about the carry in the other side, so they brought another tanky here for the composition with Arlott with a very, very strong and knock up and crowd control here that can work very well in that composition, finishing for a Black Sentence. And now we are waiting to see what is Octa bringing out. Maybe Valentina is still open here. Could be very interesting, but no. The phrase Valia!
That's good against those melee heroes. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. We saw. I want to say we've seen a singular Valir pick in the north as well, and it did especially well. Especially when we talk about you were talking about it, Xena. Those melee heroes, those ones that like to be right up into the front line. Oh, so and this is when I'm looking at a clash happening here, and I'm trying to imagine it with my limited imagination that I have. When you try to get to the front line, you're just going to be pushed back by Valier. When you're pushed back by Valier, you're going to have a Black Dragon swimming for your back line. How are you going to be able to close the distance on the back line of Octa here? I want to say this is kind of I'm kind of in love with this composition coming out from Octa.
Yeah, it's a good composition from them. The fact that they had that Valier to kind of push and slow down those melee heroes from ever reaching their backline, and Carrie is going to be the one to shred them. This one is a good pick for Octa. Their draft pick is really good.
Yeah, that it kind of blew my mind. I have to be honest, it kind of blew my mind, like bringing this Valier in that composition. I was waiting for a Valentina maybe, or maybe Farsa, which is also very prioritized in the AMER South. But no, they decided to bring a Valier here in that composition. Okay, so I think that for disengage also, Valier here can work very well in that composition from Octa Gaming, Private.
Yeah, I'm just when it comes to a Black Sentence right now, I'm trying to figure out in a perfect world for them, if they play perfectly, you have Claude who can kind of get to the back line with that Blazing Duet, but you're kind of waiting for that mid to late game for him to be able to pop off. We saw when it's played correctly, we actually saw from the last game, Claude was part of the first turtle fight. He came in with the he got his level 4 very quickly, came in with the Blazing Duet to, even with like, it wasn't doing a great amount of damage, I'm talking about with it for the first turtle, but he came online very early to be able to kind of support his team with a little bit of that suppressive fire. The problem is here, when he gets to that back line, who's going to be back there to protect him? Are we waiting for like a counter engage from Octa? The Black Dragon comes in, maybe Hylos and Arlot, although Hylos is not, he's not like a I want to say a disengage option. He's not a good peeler. He's an engagement tool that you want to lay down that glorious pathway, but we're going to find out if the compositions stack up.
Yeah. So let's go and let's see what's going to happen in the second game here. Everybody, once again, welcome to the Land of Dawn, to the second game. Black Sentences versus Octa Gaming. Reminding that it's 1-0 for Octa Gaming, and always reminding you that it's all the best of 3 here. So let's go, my friend Private.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically game point. So Octa Gaming does, I want to say, a little bit of breathing room, you know, a little bit of a wiggle room to mess up if they want to. Already, I want to say, Erwin, I'd like to see this. I like to see the aggression right from the early spot there. Saber actually in trouble, uses that flicker and able to find and escape.
My goodness, what happened here in the first minute of the game? See, Saber was Saber used the flake. You know, it's almost like the 2 minutes for the flake comeback, and the 45 seconds for the first turtle. So that can be a very good opportunity for a Black Sentence to try to guarantee the first goal, to guarantee the first objective here. But Octa Gaming here is still trying to take in the actions, dominating here some kind of and somehow the pace. Let's go! Whoa!
Yeah, look at the damage coming out from Thanatos there. You get the damage and the CC coming from Valier, and then Thanatos on the Soyu comes in, swinging away, and almost takes down 2 from Black Sentence at the 1 minute and 30-second mark. And that's what a great early game that you have, and that's the value from a Khalid. That's why I want to say Octa Gaming had banned it out in the first game. They didn't want to see that instead of the Hilda pick up there because of the damage that it can provide right away.
Yeah, I think that it wasn't level 4 Hisuyo, but now the turtle in the upside. There comes the first blood for Zunshin here. That is happening, my friend Private. Let's go.
Yeah, you see the Black Dragon all the way into the backside there. Does get put down by Zeus, and Lucy in trouble. Gets taken down. Papa Dog with the last hit there. Thanatos gonna try to use those dashes to try to get himself out of harm's way. Papa Dog's a little low. Comes in looking for that demonic force. Doesn't have it. Finds himself a little bit of a kill. Papa Dog slams down onto them. Segan in trouble using that flicker as well. And he is down for the count. That is 4 kills for Black Sense. Looking for a 5th if Saber can try to get himself away, and he can't.
5-0 for Black Sentence. It doesn't seem like the first, it doesn't at all like the first game here, where Octa Gaming were like dominating everything, dominating the pace. But now Black Sentence pull the cards on the table. Okay, the turtle is guaranteed by Octa Gaming. Okay, the first one, but the fact is, we have 5 kills for a Black Sentence. You know, we have 2 kills for Sky. It's Zushin. Papadog with Arlon here with 2 kills. Aurora with the Fredin with 1 kill here. The goal lead here is almost a 2. No, it's 1k at 1,000 and just a little bit for a Black Sentence, you know. But more important here, Private, is the confidence, is the power for Black Sentence to guarantee these kills, and more important, the resources for the heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're sitting on 5-0. Especially, I kind of thought that the composition, if you played it a little bit right, Segan would be able to kind of get a lot of those slows, a lot of those pushes. Then Thanatos would be able to kind of come in with the Soul Sever and really dish out a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Black Sentence had a great job. The Black Dragon came out. The entirety of Black Sentence backed off. They kited him back. They burst him down. And then one by one are able to focus targets onto Octa Gaming. It seems like whatever rust they had in that first game, they have gone ahead and shaken off. Glorious Pathway down onto the tower. In comes the Blazing Duet. Is that going to be enough to take down V2? Saber and V2 very low, but taking a lot of tower shots. Aurora, and just like that, a little greedy of a play there underneath the tower. They, I want to say, overestimated the damage they were going to be able to do, and that turned around very quickly.
We know that story, Private. We know that story, my friend. The greed took down the golem. You know, they were too greedy here in the bottom lane. Once again, Suyo is taking down another player in the Sky, and now Joe Crew is the other victim. It's the 4 kills now for Octa. They are back in the game. Actually, they are ahead in the goal lead. Okay, there's not too much, but what happened here, my friend Private? Because they survived for so long in the turret and the bottom lane here. That try for dive for a Black Sentence, but here they come again.
Yeah, and I want to say Black Dragon is out there. It's looking for one of the squishier targets, goes into the mid, and Thanatos able to find himself a retribution. Lucy finds a kill on to Aurora. The rest of Black Sentence looking for an escape, trying to kind of create some of that distance, while Octa Gaming is going to use this as an opportunity to start pressing their luck into the tower. Papa Dog and Sky alone in the mid lane, now looking for the defense.
Black Sentence, what are you doing? You had a very interesting advantage in the kills and the goal lead, you know, in the very first minutes of the game, but now it's like almost a nightmare for Black Sentence here, because now we have a V2 with the carry with 1 kill here, getting more items, getting more farms and more build. Oh, Joyo Crew! You have to be careful, my friend. Now Vito here is causing so much damage with carry. We are about to see the build just a little bit later, but I think that the carries already have one item heading for the second one. Oh, thank you so much, production. It's a wonderful team here. Oh, the corrosion side here also for a carry versus the Demon Hunter for Claude. Okay, Sky Pierce already for Suyo here. You know, Thanatos is playing very well with Suyo, the jungler, you know, so Black Sentence had a very interesting advantage here, my friend Private, but they took down, and now here comes a dive in the top side. Will be no, Octa prefers to get safe, to take back, to get back here, to reposition, but Saber is up to something. Oh, look at Saber. He's trying to do something. Ooh. Okay, in the mid lane here.
Comes out there, Thanatos got caught. A great read there immediately. Irwin lays down the Glorious Pathway. Because I was actually going to critique that when it comes to the second, the last turtle fight we just had. The Glorious Pathway got laid down. Unfortunately, I want to say not all the team immediately was able to collapse onto Octa Gaming. And that's kind of like the synergy that you need. You need to be able to lay that down. The entire team collapses. Ooh, see another fight in that mid. They are laying down onto Saber, looking for an angle to get in there. You see a little bit of a stun goes on to Segan. Still on this turtle, and Aurora able to pick it up. Much more objective focus coming from Black Sentence here in game 2.
Yeah, I think that Thanatos did use the Retribution here to try to guarantee the other turtle for Octa Gaming. But we got Saber here now to get in some info. Even meanwhile, you have Black Sentence forced at the mid lane here, like clean wave, forcing the minion wave here, but now they're heading for the bottom lane here. Here comes the Glory Path once again, Private!
Yeah, big final slash comes out there, followed by the flanker from V2, and a blazing duet from Joel Crew, able to take down the gold laner of Octa Gaming, and another one, Lucy, down for the count. That's going to be 2 kills for Joel Crew there, bringing Black Sentence to a 9-5 lead over Octa Gaming, and this is a completely different team than we saw from the first game.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, my friend Private, because now Octa Gaming here, it is taking so much pressure, especially in the jungle. I think that they lost the purple buff here for Suyo because they were in the other side. He was in the other side here, but now Black Sentence is continuing the pressure. Oh, Saber!
Yeah, Saber is in trouble. That lantern coming out from Sky. I know everybody's counting their lucky stars that Zushin is not going to be available for game 3, the possible game 3 if Black Sentence can make it out here, because it seems to be making all the difference when it comes to some of these engagements. That's why we've seen it just banned out when it comes to AMER North. They just ban it out because right now there's answers that people are trying to test out here, and my prognosis right now is that banning. That's the best way to go against the Zushin right now. Black Sentence and Sky just having a great game. Sky sitting at 4-1-5 right now.
Yes, Private, you're totally right. We are not seeing Zushi in the possible third game here for both teams, for neither of the teams here. So now we're seeing the Lord on the pitch. Oh, here comes again. Oh.
Yeah, Aurora actually got caught inside that bush there. Oh, he's looking for a resurrection. Guy comes in, and Joel Crew finds himself another kill. 3 down for Octa Gaming, and Thanos Teasy's gonna have to find himself an escape. It's just him and the gold laner left for Octa Gaming. This is a bush that Aurora walked into. You had members in there waiting, and that's just the tankiness and that you get with the Fredrin and the support that you had from a Sky there as well.
Yeah, that's it, my friend. I don't want to be early here, but I think that Black Sentence only loses this game if they want to. You know, because the Joel Crew here is very strong. We have Papa Dog here with Arlott also, with the Oracle, with the Boot. We are seeing Claude with the Demon Hunter, Golden Staff, the Corrosion side also. 3 full items for this Claude here. We're seeing with the Glowing Hand in Zunshin and also Sky Pierce also for the mid lane here. Sky is playing so well also with the 6 kills. But now, here comes Black Sentence once again, Private.
Oh, yeah, Blazing Duet comes out there. Down goes Thanatos Easy very quickly there. V2 activates the Speedy Light Wheel, trying to rain down damage there. Is able to find a kill onto Papa Dog. Both teams decide it's just better to live and fight another day. Both of them lose some members there. 2 go down from Octa Gaming. They're going to have to turn around there. Oh, actually, you see Saber kind of going in, testing his luck against the Aurora's Fredrin there, but not able to come away with anything there. See, this is what I kind of like. What you get with that Khalid is just the constant ability to harass. Come in there, get a poke. You're not going to be able to kill him. He's still got abilities that are going to be able to help him sustain, but it's allowing Black Sentence to kind of macro up around the base, trying to get some of the damage onto some of those towers.
Yeah, and once again here comes no breathing for us, Private.
Oh, a little bit of the greedy play there comes out from Aurora. Goes in there for the purple buff, gets taken out there. Now that's going to cost him Irwin as well. 2 down for the side of a Black Sentence. And I want to say, when you go for those buffs on the enemy side, the rest of your team needs to be available, needs to be helping, needs to be kind of like stowing away the enemy for you. Right here, we saw maybe a little bit of a communication issue between Aurora and the rest of the team, but he had an entirety of Octa Gaming waiting there to put him down.
Winds of Nature for carry. We also got that immune here for the gold laner of Octa Gaming. You know, it was just because I said it was down for Black Sentence. After I said that, Black Sentence make 2 mistakes here in the last couple of couple of minutes later, you know. So they have to pay attention and they have to be aware, especially with the carry. But Saber, what are you doing there, my friend?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's trying to find himself an escape position. Sky is right there to pull him back. A little bit of a fight up at the top. Thanatos TZ looking for an escape. Papa Dog disengages from that, but there's still one down now is Octa Gaming. About 5 seconds left on this Lord, and Black Sentence is in a great position to be able to kind of get positioning on it and be able to force away the enemy team. You can see Sky right there on the Zushin. Black Dragon is out. Looking for a target. He's going to be able to find Sky. Comes in. You do see the glorious pathway now onto the back line of Octa Gaming. Lucy in trouble. Comes in. Gets taken out by Sky. And the rest of Octa Gaming looking for a disengage. In comes Saber. The enemy's actually very low, but Aurora finds the retribution, able to get the Lord, and Sky takes down a Saber. The rest of the team coming in. Final slash. Able to take down B2. Dynamos looking to, actually goes in, trying to put some damage down, finds the Sky. Glorious pathway is down, but it looks like Black Sentence able to clean up there. It's just Segan alone with 4 down for Octa Gaming.
I mean, what happened to Saber? I thought it was Saber was about to ultimate in the Lord, you know, just trying to do some kind of disturbance in the force for Octa Gaming, you know. But instead of that, he didn't ultimate. I think that it was against Papa Dog, you know. So there was no follow-up, there was no damage caused by Octa Gaming here. But now here comes the pressure in the mid lane, where the Lord is heading on the top side for a Black Sentence. Can be the final push here, my friend.
Oh, well, I mean, they don't have the mid lane kind of synced up with the rest. Black Dragon's going to go out there, but he's not going to be able. He's just trying to defend. Oh, actually, Blazing Duet comes out there. It's going to be able to shred down the Black Dragon. Lucy goes down. Sky's right there to pick up another kill. 12 and 2 for 13 and 2 right now for Sky, who's a maniac. And B2 goes down as well. 3 down for Octa Gaming. And Black Sentence is at the gates looking to siege Octa Gaming in here. Can they close it up? Thanatos TZ looking to try to stave off this push, but smartly and wisely, Black Sentence, they run out of minions, and they're going to go ahead and clean up the jungle on their way out.
No maniac for Zushin here, but now they continue the pressure. Guaranteed super minions in the mid lane. The only turret left here is in the bottom lane here, the turret number 3, but it is injured here with half of HP. The base is still it's basically open for Octa Gaming here. A Black Sentence leading the game, dominating the pace here. The goal lead heading almost to 6k of goal lead here for a Black Sentence. Another Lord comes up in 3 seconds, and they have the advantage. They have the map control here. You know, for Octa, I think that for Octa here, a win condition, it is to protect V2 here, to make him comfortable, to make him confident to cause damage in the team fight. But it's also very difficult for them because here Lucy can be the first victim.
Oh yeah, you can see Black Dragon coming out there, but that was used more defensively because of all of the damage that Lucy was taking. That means he's not going to have it for the next fight. And speaking of which, next fight is already here. Thanatos actually looking for an escape as he scraps with Papa Dog. 4 seconds left on this Lord, and you've got Papa Dog, who's kind of tucked tail right now. He's going to be looking to try to get some of that health back up. He is up, and you see Lucy actually got Papa Dog actually goes into the bush, and the rest of the team locks on the Saber, looking for an escape. Zushin's right there. Sky spraying on some of that damage, trying to get those stacks on there. All the while, Black Sentence doing a great job working on this Lord while still zoning out Octa Gaming, and there is another Lord collected for Black Sentence.
It was a nice job here for Black Sentence to zone the games for Octa Gaming here, forcing them to use the ultimate. So losing the resources here for a possible team fight for the Lord. And now the Lord heading for the mid lane here. We can have the final push once again, but now it's for Black Sentence, Private.
Yeah, and they're looking to close this game out. Black Dragon is out. Ooh, Saber tried to come in with some damage, but gets bursted down. Lucy in trouble here, getting a chunk of damage down. Minions now at all corners of this base. It does look like Octa Gaming was able to take down the Lord. They got a little bit of the defense there. Irwin takes a chunk of damage on the front end there. Does have the immortality from the back end. Lucy looking for an angle, but gets caught by Black Sense. They read it out there right away. This is going to allow Thanatos TZ to come in.
I don't believe that.
Looking for some damage. V2 finds some damage onto Aurora.
No
and
way.
Octa Gaming trying to turn this thing around, but it doesn't look like Sky.
Oh my goodness.
On some of that damage. Just Sky alone, 4 down for Black Sense, who looks like they overstayed their welcome at the base. Sky able to answer back at Saber.
Saber, what did you do? I think that Saber was he was so excited about something because he was chasing his Sky here. I mean, like, okay, it was Khalid versus Zushin, but we are talking about a Zushin with 15 kills. With a very perfect KD8 here for the mid lane, you know. So now Octa, they couldn't survive just a little bit, but now here comes the Glorious Path once again in front of it.
Yeah, Glorious Pathway is out. They're still spraying down damage. Sky actually takes a heap of damage. He's going to be able to use that flicker to get back and away. V2 cleans up Irwin, and that's the power you get from the carry and a speedy light wheel and time. If you can give Carrie the space and time that she needs, she's going to be able to shred down even the tankiest member of the enemy team. The problem from a lot of these fights has been that they haven't been able to. Their front line, Lucy will go in on that Black Dragon, and the rest of the team will be, I want to say, maybe like a half a second too late to be able to follow up. Then you have a Black Dragon that's down, and you don't really have that tanky front line that's able to protect V2 on that carry. Here, I want to say Octa Gaming has been able to find the angles. They've been able to kind of, to find a way in these fights to let V2 kind of shine. Sitting at 7 and 4 right now, but you're going to have to compete, especially on Black Sentence's side. Sky has been lit up here. 15, 2, and 9 on this Zushin pick.
Yeah, come on, Private, help me out here. I don't want to believe that Black Sentence is going to lose this game. You know, after all that we saw in this game here, now Octa feel more confident. They already started the Lord here. Of course, we will have a fight back here for Black Sentence, but now the Lord is already out of the pitch. That can be a possible future team fight. Let's go, Private.
Yeah, Glorious Pathway is out. And Thanatos TZ able to pick up the Lord. This is big news for Octa Gaming. Papa Dog does get that immortality proc on the backside. The rest of the team's going to try to get onto Thanatos TZ, who gets a kill onto Irwin, but cleaned up by Aurora. We do have that Winter Crown activated there by Thanatos TZ. He's going to be able to find himself escape. 1 down for both of these teams, and a Lord looming down on the lanes of a Black Sentence. My, how the tables have turned.
Holy cow, what is happening here in this game, Private? Because we're seeing now Octa with the Lord heading in the top side. Of course, they lost Lucy, but it's only 15 seconds for him to get back in the game once again. And I think now that Octa can take this advantage to take down the turret in the mid lane here, waiting for this buffet minions. That was happened because they Black Sentence trying to defend and somehow, but Octa Gaming was trying to zone the players, right? Trying to cause this pressure versus a Black Sentence. And this is happening. This is working out. While the Lord is still heading for the top side here, and there's no way the Black Sentence can lose this. Is that it, Private? I don't want to believe that.
Lord stopped for a snack up in top lane for a little bit. I think that's just due to the engorged minions you get when you have no lanes on there. We do have the Glorious Pathway has been laid out there by Irwin. Lord puts a heap of damage onto the top high ground tower. If Octa Gaming were looking for a way in, they have found it. Papa Dog comes in, dashing back and forth, does not find the angle he needs for that final slash just yet, but Black Sentence gonna go ahead, focus down on the Lord, but but I want to say the way forward has been open. Black Dragon is out. They're looking to maybe put some damage onto this middle high ground tower, trying to lure out Black Sense. Another glorious pathway out there. Look at the damage that Irwin is taking. He still has the immortality. Down at the bottom, they are able to find themselves a tower. Sky on the Zushin, still finding that damage, and no follow-up from Black Sense. They are going to have to go ahead and lick some of those wounds, but Octa Gaming came and saw and found two high ground towers for their money with that Lord.
I thought that Irwin was like landing straight in the middle of the gaming lineup here, but he changed the mind. But now we have a Lord already open in the top side here in the river. Octa Gaming started immediately, but we are sure that Black Sentence is going to fight back this very important goal. With Irwin here doing the front line, getting this info, the Lord is almost with half HP here. We can have a possible ultimate here team fight for both teams, because at this point of the game, my friend Private, every loss here, every kill can be lethal.
Ooh. Yeah, I want to say, Joel Crew is trying to maneuver around. He wants to keep those stacks up as a Claude to be able to come in with a blazing duet when they need it, but he's getting zoned out here. Saber is continuing to be a little bit of a nuisance here on there. Black Dragon from the side. He's looking for Joel Crew. And you do have a Sandstorm that comes in there as well. Is it going to be enough? Saber getting blasted down, and the Lord goes to Thanatos. TZ Sky able to find a kill of their own on to Saber, and now the rest of Octa Gaming disengaged. I would say that is a fair play. You lose one player, but you pick up a 24-minute Lord.
Yeah, the Lord was once again guaranteed by Octa Gaming here, but I don't think that is gonna work for something, because Saber, sorry, was taken down here. So Octa Gaming has this this situation that is one player less to try to do something, but we still have Thanatos. What are you doing there, my friend?
Yeah,
he saw his light black before his eyes.
Yeah, Black Dragon is out there trying to cut off the escape. Lucy goes in, is able to kind of find themselves a way back there, but almost a little catch up there. Thanatos does have, especially out of Suyu, does have a myriad of different escape options that he needs. Look at Octa Gaming really pressing onto this mid tower as V2 trying to put on some of that damage. All the lanes are starting to come in, top and bottom. Lord up at the top. Will Black Sentence be able to live to fight another day? Their future for this series landing up on this fight as the Lord down to 50%. Glorious pathway is out. Aurora tanking up onto the Lord. Sky comes in from the side, looking for an angle. Lord is down, but the pressure starting to mount into the mid. Down goes Joel Crew. This is the opportunity that they're looking for. You have a big amount of damage taken out for Black Sense. Black Dragon swooping around. In comes the Sky with that ultimate, and that is going to be game 2 going to Octa Gaming.
Victory!
My eyes see. My eyes are watching, but I can't believe my eyes. Zina, please help me. I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe my reality. I can't believe what happened.
Yes, I can't believe they turned that around. They were coming up strong. Black Sentence was doing an amazing job with the trio of Claude, Fredrin, and Zushin in the start, but for some reason, Octa was able to turn that around. What did I say? They know that their draft, they know how to counter it. So I think they came back around with that.
It's unfortunately for when it comes to the draft of Black Sentence, I mean, they did everything that they were supposed to, except they let the game last too long and they didn't close it up when they should have. When you're getting to that late game, especially against the carry, and the amount of damage that she was able to do, and not just that, but the way that Octa Gaming was scouting for information, making sure that they could find, where's the Claude? Are we ready? Black Dragon comes in, you mix that in with the Raging Sandstorm. They were all over him. They knew exactly what they needed to do to find that win condition, and that was to be able to take down the Claude. They found him, and that was another successful Lord take for them.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take this time here to say, Sagan, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, because I was thinking in the game, and I was about to say that maybe Octa they couldn't win this game so early if Sagan Sagan choose Valentina, for example, because I thought that Valir wasn't working out so well in that composition. But in the last few minutes of the game, he did it so well, protecting the carry, especially using the second skill to disengage, to protect, to peel carry, to let him working very well, to let him causing damage. And it worked so well for Octa Gaming. What a resilience! What a mind mind fortress for Octa Gaming here, because I don't know, guys. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think that maybe on the 15 minutes out of the game, I'll say, okay, guys, it's done. Let's think about the other game. Let's think about what's next, because I think that we don't have a chance in this game. But they were so strong. They were so mind protective that they could win the second game, Zina.
Yes, the carry. You let that carry build up. Later in the game, she's going to shred those melee heroes. And that's what she did right there, right, Private?
Yeah, when it comes to information about these teams and what they use to describe themselves, I believe Octa Gaming said, and I quote, "The words that describe our team are our communication and discipline." So, I mean, and that game kind of proved it. Even on their back foot, able to still understand, all right, guys, we've lost every single objective, but we just need to make sure, keep doing what we're doing. Valir wasn't as effective through the mid game. He was being able to get those pushes. He was being able to get the CC. The problem is they weren't doing enough damage. I want to say you're absolutely correct. It felt like Sagan was kind of failing, but he was he was doing what he needed to. It just wasn't the time. You know what I mean? It wasn't at that late game where you could have the carry start actually doing out that damage to actually really be able to have the effect that they needed onto the teams. So a great job for them to stick to the plan, stick to the strategy, and be successful.
Yeah, you're totally right here, Private. As we see now the highlights on the second game, that all appear to be perfect for a Black Sentence, Even from the first minute of the game, the Black Sentence is guaranteeing 5 kills in a row. And then after that, we saw a crazy thing happening in the bottom lane, that they tried to dive I think that 4 versus 2, that happened here. They survived for so long, and they could give the opportunity for Octa Gaming getting back in the game here. So everything that happened in this game was so wild, was so crazy for both teams, okay, good job for Octa Gaming because they won 2-0, but Black Sentence here, at least in the second game, they showed us a strong gameplay. They showed us a strong micro and macro gaming that they can have more confidence through the rest of the tournament here to try to win the next games, Private.
Yeah, and I want to say you brought up the point that this for Black Sentence, this is basically a new roster for them, taking on Octa Gaming, who's got a lot of players that are from the same team. It wasn't Octa Gaming, but they were on ULF.
Yes.
So they have that history together, and I want to say, especially when it comes to that diving underneath the turret, things like that, it takes experience to understand your team, to understand what can we do. Can we go in and can we win this, and can we win this quickly? Before you said it was a 2-on-4, but by the end of that, it was a 2-on-4 the other way, because the Octa Gaming was able to kind of come back and clamor around to be able to close the distance on that turret, because they saw what was happening and they were able to come in for the save. And that's what you get with a team that has experience, a team that has played together before. And here, MVP, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody.
Yes, we have this carry as our MVP. V2 has brought it at the end. He was able to secure the win for the team of Octa and did an amazing job, right, everyone?
Basically here, 150,000 K here of damage by this carry. We can say here that this carry carried the game, my friend Private, for the game. Because not only because of the damage, but because of the idea of the composition, the idea of execution. As you said, maybe Sagan was not so effective in the early and the mid game, but somehow, not somehow, they know what